Watching my videos will likely put you at odds with other people, perhaps the vast majority of the people around you. But you're here likely because you're probably almost there already. If you weren't already there, you're getting there to the point where you're looking for somebody who may see and understand the things that you see. And perhaps that's me. I don't expect you to agree with everything that I say, but I do believe that I'm right about everything that I say, or else I wouldn't say it. I used to just talk, but, I went through a lot of pain and a lot of disappointment, a lot of ostracization, exile from expressing myself. And so I stopped expressing myself, um, and I became very comfortable just being alone, I suppose. Um, I found that people would say to me, "You need to say what's on your mind," when I would try to accommodate them in my words. And I'll say this probably a lot. This may be your experience. They would say to me, they could tell I was lying when I would say, "Oh, yeah, I agree with you. That's cool." Or I'd accept their opinion. Maybe not agree with them, but accept what they're saying. Or try to accommodate without challenging them. They say, "Oh, you need to say what's on your mind. Be real. Keep it real." But then when I start to say what's on my mind, then they try to kill me. So this is my way of sharing what I believe and what I think with other people, because I've learned that it's not safe to say these things out loud. So I hope you're being strong out there. I hope that I'm helping you, and I hope that you're having a good day. That's the least that I can hope for you, and I think that's a reasonable thing to hope, not too extravagant. Hope that you're just having a good day. Now, we're going to talk about flags. Flags are a piece of cloth that has some symbol on it that's supposed to represent a greater theme, a greater mission, a greater ideology, um, of a group of people, mostly in a specific place, but not always. Now, when you meet people who use flags as a source of pride, a source of identity, a source of grouping themselves with some group, you need to know that it's very important to them. Like, it's a big deal. And you should interact with them accordingly. I try to stay away from people like that, period. People who interact with flags. Well, no matter what the flag is, if you start talking about the flag, if I see a flag sticker on your car, if I see a flag on your t shirt, your hat, if I see a flag tattoo, oh my goodness, I try to keep discussion to a minimum. Because I know that you're a little bit nuts, and I know that you're a group thinking type of person. You're not necessarily an individualist. So I have to interact with you in the way that I would interact with anybody else. I'm interacting with a group when I interact with you, if you're a flag person. Now, this is the flag of the state of California. Not the country of California, but in a lot of countries they have states, provinces, and such. And these states have their own flags because from state to state there are different values. Now, what this bear means, I don't know. What the star means, I have some degree of information, but I'm not going to go over that type of thing in this video. It's just about the types of things that you'll see, the types of symbols. Like, the colors represent something. These colors aren't random. Um, they mean something. Oftentimes, the red means blood. Keeping it real. Now, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't think, but I don't know what the red means in California flag. The placement of the red and the white, I don't know. I have an idea, but I'm not going to get into that because some people might not be ready for that. But let's move on. I think this is the Arizona flag. Once again, it has the star. Um, that may be sun rays. Obviously, the color is important. see, is this running? Yeah, it's running. Um, the blue. Wow. Maybe the blue is for the sky. The orange is for the sun. The star represents something I'm not going to talk about necessarily, and perhaps the red and yellow are some kind of sun rays. Just guessing. There's a lot of sun worship on this planet. People, I guess, people don't think about what or who or what power created the sun. Um, they do that in the same way when people take over countries, they worship those particular people. No matter how they take over it, they worship them. They don't think about who put this person in power, who put this initiative in this person to be brutal, to exert control over other people. No, they start worshiping things that have control, that give. The sun gives indiscriminately. People who run a country, the highest caste in a country, gives everything to the lower caste. They're depriving them of certain things, of everything really, but they're giving everything that's needed. All right, we're getting too deep. Let's move on. Once again, the sun. Um, in all of these countries, all of these colors represent something very specific. Once again, I don't know what this is. We're just giving an example. You're going to see white in a lot of these flags. You're going to see red and blue in a lot of these flags. Now, Jamaica, this is Jamaica. I know Jamaica was a British colony, I believe, for a very long time. And so this resembles, what, the Union Jack or the UK flag. I don't know the names. I'm doing my best here. But I imagine the black means the people. The gold means the sun and the green means the land. I mean, people really are this simple. And these are things that people take a lot of pride. Not necessarily the state flags like this. I think these represent ideologies for the state. But when it comes to country flags, people fly these. They had when you watch the Olympics, people are rooting for the people and they identify with the people who have this flag to represent their country or whatever. Even though they might have more in common with the people from other countries, they identify with the flag. It's really quite sad. These are the flags that represent lifestyles, not necessarily countries, possibly countries in the future, um, or some kind of nations, territories, even if it's virtual, in the metaverse or something, I don't know. But these flags represent sexual proclivities and behaviors, lifestyles. And, sometimes gay people I might associate with get mad because I might say lifestyle. They say it's not a lifestyle, but straight being so-called straight person is a lifestyle. Everything is a lifestyle. So if you choose to make this important enough to have a flag, yes, it's a lifestyle. This represents a set of values that you have. So I know the one in the middle. I believe the one in the middle is a transgender, and that one is particularly strange. The blue, right? Blue and pink in the West. I don't know what it means other places, but in America, I know it means boy, girl, right? When you have a child, traditionally, the light blue, they paint the room light blue, or, they put light blue little clothes on it if it's a boy. And if it's a girl, they paint the room pink and lots of pink accessories, the clothes and identifiers and stuff with the girl. So it's boy, girl, and then God in the middle. The white represents God. Now, I believe that that's a racial thing, you know, but I believe it's also has to do with some kind of light, you know, the reflection of light. And so they believe, and that's also kind of racial, but I'm not going to get into that. But that's what that one in the middle means. It means that the melding, this is the transgender flag, it means that the melding of man and woman into one entity creates God. Ain't that crazy? Now, the one at the very top is the homosexual, the gay flag. I don't know what to call it, but the gay flag. And it's actually the inverted chakra colors. It's really crazy shit. The purple represents the highest chakra, which would be um, right above the head, the crown chakra. It's like the highest mind, the highest sense of values, morals. In the gay flag, it's all the way at the bottom, right? The pink and the red and all of that, that represents the root chakra, which is the sexual organs, and that's at the top. So covertly, these people don't really deny that their lifestyle is inverted, backwards, opposite of what usually is, what is normal. And I don't think there's anything particularly with not being normal, but I think there is something a little bit weird about making what's not normal normal. But that's not what this video is about. It's about the flags. But particularly these flags are strange because they represent sexual behavior. So this means that when you see people with this flag, it means that the most important thing about them is their sexual behavior. And you have to interact with these people in that way. What that means for you, I don't know. But you need to understand that when people display these flags, they mean that sexual behavior is the most important thing to them. I'm not here to judge anybody or to impart judgments on people. I judge everyone. I make judgments about what I think, what I believe, how I interact with people. But do I want to hurt people or do I think people should get hurt? No. For their behavior, for their shortcomings, for their any way they've been victimized that's changed their lives. None of that. I think people, if they want to have gay sex, they can have gay sex. Okay? So people can do whatever they want to do. Um, and I do admire the idea of coming out because the biggest thing is when there's secrets. Now, I don't think you should go on, in public and come out. I guess I'm not completely with the idea of everyone knowing that you're having sex with whoever. But as far as being able to be yourself and not keeping that a secret in whatever discussion you're having with somebody, I think that's admirable in whatever way. All right, let's move on. This is the China flag. This one has several stars on it. Now, red generally means blood. um, and this flag is pretty much all red and all stars. Um, Now, I don't think the stars always mean the same thing. A lot of people would tell you that the star is a certain symbol for a certain lifestyle and practice. I believe that the star represents a lot of different things, depending on the context. It can represent religious, spiritual beliefs, which may be malevolent or benevolent, depending on your perspective. It could represent, which I think it does in this, um, fireworks and explosions. Just to guess, what I see is blood and explosions. Um, so yeah, this flag is particularly a little bit aggressive to me. Let's move on. Maple leaf. This is Canada, I believe. Now, the contrast of the red, the white, and the maple leaf creates a crazy kind of a balance to a certain degree. Not really a balanced balance, but a balance between ideologies. Now, I do believe that the white represents um, the perception of reflecting light instead of absorbing it being a godly thing. And I think that's associated with the people that call themselves white because nobody's white, just like nobody's black. These are concepts. So I do believe that there are lots of people in Canada that think they're white, that call themselves white. I know that the maple leaf, it's a beautiful tree that they have here, and it gives syrup and wood to people. Perhaps they have a lot of them in Canada. Perhaps there's some kind of story about the maple leaf. Perhaps this is a covert symbol for something else. I don't know. But I also believe that the red symbolizes blood in this too. And I don't want to get this, too into that particular thing, but it's fun. Um, it's fun to talk about. It's fun to know. It's fun to learn. So, the main point that I'm making, because you don't have to know all of this particular information or even believe it or understand it or engage it. What you really need to take away from this video is that when people have flags, they're not speaking to you from their own perspective. They're speaking to you from the perspective that can in some way be aligned with this group that's using the flag. Now, I'm not sure what country this is, but I thought it was an interesting flag. Now, nothing about any of these flags is random. Nothing about any of these flags we see is random. It all means something. Because this is going to represent people for the entirety of their existence, of the nation, of the group, whatever it is. Now, they can be changed, of course, but when you change your flag, people take notice because you're changing your ideology. So everything in these flags means something. It means something that the animal, the dragon, is holding these balls. It means something that the three limbs in the back are pointing down and the one in the front is pointing up. It means something that it looks like he's going to eat one of those balls, the one in the left claw. Who knows? The number of scales might mean something. It definitely means something. The colors, um, the diagonal line. All of this is pertinent information if you're really trying to understand. But once again, all you really need to know is it's a flag and somebody's aligned. If you can line up some people you can actually line up their facial expressions. Some people you can line up their actual countenance and their look with the flag, and you can identify people that way. Here's a breakdown of some idea of how the world's divided into these different ideas, these different ideologies represented by flags. I'm not sure how old this is or how new this is, but yeah. You see every space, pretty much every single space is taken up by a flag. I think that's the United Nations flag. Now we see blue and white, right? The blue either equals the sky or the water. And the sky is blue because of the water, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but it makes sense to me. So, I believe that once again, the white represents the reflection of light and people, and the blue represents the water. And so, what's being said is that the land is white, as in so called ownership of it is by people who believe they're white, and the water is just most of the world. But it's 70%, 75% of the world is blue. So it's a blue planet. They call it the blue planet. Now these are my ideas. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. I'm just saying that once again, main point is when you see somebody with a flag, it's very important. It's the most important thing. I think this might be one of the UN buildings or who knows, some kind of international diplomacy building where they're acknowledging which flags they acknowledge. Because there are more flags in the world than these people even acknowledge. So we can say that these different people are fighting, and that some of these countries are at war with each other, but in the end, they all are flags. They're flag people. That's how I look at it. And there are many flags. There are many flags that exist that all of these people know about that they don't acknowledge. So there's certain prerequisites for being in whatever group of flags that are represented in this type of graph. And this one's a bit different, or this type of photo, this type of chart. This one's a bit different than this one. You can see the area called China, the area called Canada, some of the other places, smaller, they look different. And these lands change hands, the boundaries change, new nations are formed with new flags, some of which aren't even acknowledged by all of the peoples of the world. But none of these flags are accidentally symbolic. They're all very precise. They're all very meaningful in the way that they're designed. Yeah, I think this is the last photo. Oh, no, a couple more photos. Yeah, flags are boring. I guess that's just my opinion. So this is the last one, and this is the UK flag, I think, and maybe the Irish flag. I think they might be the Irish flag. I don't know. But yeah, watch out for the flag people. Have a great day.